Hello there! So with Pokebank's release, it is now possible to get every single starter Pokemon in Sun and Moon. However, even if you don't have Pokebank yourself or any old games, it is still possible to collect all the starters and their evolutions very easily. So today we'll be using the GTS, so you will need a Wi-Fi connection. But GTS trading also does sometimes come down to a bit of luck, but you will get the starter you want soon enough if you follow my advice. So if we open up the GTS and then search for one of the old starters, like Snivy, then we can take a look at what sort of Pokemon people are looking for in exchange. To search for any Pokemon, even if it isn't in your Pokedex, then just scroll to the bottom of the alphabet in the search section, and then type in its name manually. So now we first search for Snivy and we get one of these guys asking for Ultra Beasts or Legendaries in exchange, and making the GTS a bit of a pain to use, but you know what? You can remove all Legendary and newbie offers permanently. So if we go back and click the options button, then we can select do not include special Pokemon. And now when we search again for Snivy, we actually have some pretty decent offers. Right here is one for a Turtonator, and that seems pretty good to me. However, you might not get so lucky on your first try, and if you can't find the starter you want, then a good idea is to deposit a decently hard to get Pokemon and wait for someone to take your offer. But Dragon Babies, other starters, Pokemon that evolve with evolution stones, or via trading are the ones that people will be looking out for. So for example, I'll put in my Milotic here and ask for a Mudkip. It actually got traded in about 3 minutes, so it was pretty quick for me. But Weavile, Scizor, Castform, Politoed, Slowkings, etc. are all very sought after as well, so if you don't really need to keep one, then trade it off and you'll almost always get the trade pretty quickly, but make sure you don't set a level cap. So now that you have one of your Pokebank starters, how do you get all the other starter Pokemon? Well, it's pretty simple actually. Now that you have this starter, you should go ahead and breed this with a Ditto and make as many eggs as you need. Then hatch all of these eggs and you'll have a ton of that new starter Pokemon. A lot of people will be after other starter Pokemon too, and starter for starter trades are pretty fair and common. So just keep depositing these new baby Charmanders, whatever you have, and almost 95% of the time for me, my trades went through within an hour. But just rinse and repeat until you get all of the starter Pokemon in the game basically. Level them up and then you'll have Charizard, Infernape, Sceptile, whatever you want. But I trade off starters with egg moves and good natures too, so you never know, someone else might do the same thing for you. Now, it is possible to use the Wonder Trade and potentially get some new starter Pokemon too. However, Wonder Trading is so unreliable, and you're never guaranteed to get the trade you want ever, so the GTS is just a much easier method rather than relying on chance completely. But it might be worth a go if you're bored, and maybe you will be one of the lucky few. So basically, to summarize it all, the hardest part of collecting all the Pokebank starters is collecting your first. After you get the first one, you can breed it with Ditto to make as many as you want, and then you can look for starter trades. If you do need any more advice for using the GTS, finishing the Pokedex, etc., then do check out my GTS tips video, although you probably will get the hang of it soon if you've never done it before. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Let me know how your starter search is going in the comments. If the video helped, then please leave a like, so then hopefully we can help out even more players that perhaps never even knew you could collect other starters so easily. But anyway, good luck, and have a nice day.